Hey guys, what's going on? So for today's whiskey adventure, I'm in Fife. Keeping it local, I'm going to go and see one of the new kids on the block. I'm going to head up to the Kingsbarns Distillery. When I say new kids on the block, it's kind of newish but oldish. We're talking 6 years. You know, what really excites me at the moment when it comes to Scottish whiskey distilleries are all these amazing distilleries that are opening up. If you want to hear more about that, because I'm not going to talk about that much in this episode. However, I do have a podcast now. Yes, if you're sick of seeing my face, you can just listen to my voice and that is it. So check it out, guys. I'm going to link it in below. It's called Not Another Whiskey Podcast. I do it with my good friend Daryl Haldane. And one of the episodes we actually talk about all the new distilleries that are happening and what they're doing in Scotland right now. But anyway, today we're going to go check out Kingsbarns just up the road. I'm at Kingsbarns Beach right now, which is kind of a little bit hairy. Meant to be summerish in Scotland, but it still hasn't been kicked in here yet. Anyway, let's get on with it. Alright, so made it to Kingsbarns. Really cool little distillery in Fife. And one of the things I love about this distillery is, for me, it goes back to 2015 when I was on holiday in Scotland because I was living in the US at the time. And I posted about being in the area and they contacted me and said, hey, do you want to come down and check it out? At that point in time, I had no idea any whiskey was being made in Fife. So really cool to see it and really energizing to see a brand new distillery like this that really has been set up for that whole visitor experience here. On top of that, they're making some great juice. So let's get in, let's check it out. So one of the reasons I'm here today is because of this guy, my good friend Mike, who is head of content for Kingsbarns. So thanks for today, man. Thanks for letting me talk about the distillery.
No worries, it's been a pleasure having you on, Mitch.
Let's talk about your role within this whiskey. What do you do for these guys?
Yeah, so I work for Weems Family Spirits. So as a umbrella kind of brand, we have Kingsbarns, where we are today, and Weems Malts, and then we've got Darnley's Gin, which is distilled here in the gin cottage next door. My role is effectively to take all the needs of all sort of promotion for all the products, both for consumer facing stuff and trade facing things, and create all the video and stills content and graphical content.
What are your opinions on you know, what a whiskey should be doing now within this digital world that you immerse yourself in?
Our approach, and I think generally the approach, has to be a move away from it just being about the bottle shot, the dram, the kind of cliched stuff that we just get with whiskey. And so something I've been really trying to do since I got here is bring the team to the fore of a lot of what we're producing.
Favourite Kingsbarns?
Honestly, Dream to Dram that's in here, it's become my go-to, all bias aside. You know, if I'm wanting a dram in the house, it's just there. And it's so drinkable, but you know, for a lowland malt, it's got so much complexity to it, and we're delighted about that because a lot of people have this bad impression of lowland malts for whatever reason, but we think we're bucking the trend there, and it's just an absolutely great drink.
So I've managed to pull Peter Holroyd away from his busy job managing the distillery here to have a quick chat. So Peter, thanks very much.
No bother, how you doing?
Good, man, you?
Yeah, not bad at all.
Good, good.
Yeah.
So you've been busy?
Yes, it has been. We've reopened for tours and we've got the usual casks coming in, going out, making nice spirits, so can't complain, yeah.
Your background's quite interesting because you got a beer background originally and then you came into whiskey, and
that's true, yeah.
Correct in saying this is the first time you managed a whiskey distillery?
Yes, it's the first time I'd worked in whiskey at all, to be honest with you. So, but my background is in beer. I was brewer down in St Austell's Brewery down in Cornwall for a summer, which was my first kind of experience of of making beer and whiskey, I suppose, beer or whiskey in a proper production environment. And then I was the head brewer for a tiny wee brewery just outside of Glasgow for 4 years before coming in here.
Brilliant.
But it's the same process up to a point, you know.
You're just boiling it up, right? That's the only
That's it.
difference.
Well, that and sticking it in a barrel
Yeah.
and seeing what comes out the other side. But
How many releases now have there been of Kingsbarns?
so we've got 2 kind of core range releases that, you know, put the distillery stamp on it, if you like. So we've got our flagship malt, Dream to Dram, which was released a couple of years ago now, and that really is the definition of the distillery character in my mind. You know, light, fruity, floral. It's a mixture of 90% bourbon barrels, 10% shaved toasted recharred casks from Portugal,
Yeah.
which just add a wee bit of richness.
That's my favourite as well, by the way.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
fantastic!
absolutely.
I'm glad you enjoy it. Yeah, I think it's quite a kind of summery dram.
Yeah.
Maybe got some of them going in the bin there.
That was the ones that we drank earlier on.
The other one is sherry matured whiskey, so it's called Balcomi, and it's quite a bit richer. You get the obvious sherry notes off it, you know, the kind of dried fruit, but you still get the distillery style coming through, kind of.
So let's talk about Balcomi for a second, because I know that name comes from one of the fields around here, and you guys are big on only sourcing fife barley.
Yeah, that's good.
So, let's talk about barley, because, you know, in my background has always been with big companies, like these big distilleries that are producing a phenomenal amount of whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about them sourcing their barley simply for the best yield. So are you guys saying that there's something different within you sourcing the barley because you want that particular flavour, and you're saying that the fife barley produces what you want to get from that?
Well, really, it's about building some provenance into the dram. That's one of the kind of core values for what we're trying to achieve here. You know, we're drawing mineral-rich water from 100 metres below the distillery. So yeah, we're championing local barley. It's unpeated, so even in terms of a raw material, barley, it's a great place to grow it here.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe it right now, but we get like some of the most hours of sunshine in Scotland.
You guys must be doing a little bit of experimentation here. Anything you can talk about?
Yeah.
Peter, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. I know this is a little bit grabbed you from the still house and came out here, so really appreciate your time.
No bother, it's my pleasure.
Thanks so much, sir.
Cool.